My name is Mike Sigal. I'm a multi-time entrepreneur, and when I'm not entrepreneuring, I'm usually advising large corporates on their innovation strategy and how they work with startups. I used to help run a conference called Demo, so I've seen thousands of startups and mentored probably that many. My day jobs are I'm a mentor at 500 Startups in Seed Camp, and then I have a startup called Agile Credit, which is an online direct lender to small businesses. So I'm sort of going through that myself with my own company. And what I've come to realize is that as the founder, even though my best skill certainly is not product, I'm having to do the product bit myself. And then the other, that's just sort of to learn what goes into it all and to be able to speak to potential product people in a compelling way, right? Because my other job, and most of my job, is selling. So I have a team of 7 people who are working for free because of the charisma with which I communicate about the product that I've had to dive into. So resources is something you have to sell to get. You should also expect that you're not going to get any financial resources until you've already proven that you can get product resources. A week if you're really slow and that doesn't, or sorry, a month if you're really slow, or a week if you actually know what's going on.
Yeah.
And say at the end, right, I'm going to study for this month or this week. And at the end of that, I'm picking my first priority and my second priority. And I'm going to have the tests that we're going to run, right? And it's probably your first qualification question. So you're going to reach 5 people in that market space and say, do you know what this is?
Right.
Do you know why you need it? Right? And that's it. And then your results from that, right? Then for the next quarter, do nothing but that.
Right. Great advice.
Right? I mean, it's actually pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
When you're in the middle of it, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
But take, a moment to study is
Right.
essentially it. And then pick one. You have an idea of what will drive your business. Pick one.
Great.
See, for example, recordings of the 500 Startups Demo Day or something like that. You watch those, you'll get a feel for what slick looks like. Right? And dedicate some amount of time, either each day or each week, to record yourself and listen to how you speak and figure out if you're getting the ideas out. And then lean, right, the whole customer driven development thing actually works for pitches as well. So you go out and you give a pitch and you see what the questions are, right?
Yeah. Either this, that, man.
Yeah. And it will, if you pay attention to it, it will force you to sort of try different ways of phrasing things, different ideas, because it's clear in your mind, but it's always very hard for all of us, right, to necessarily communicate it. And so, you might say, I'm working on this, and try it out one way, and then try it out in someone else, and see if you're getting the questions that you would expect as someone's peeling back the layers of your idea. Does that make sense?
Yeah, see the conversation's going in the direction I thought it would be going in, or it's surprising me. It's peeling back the layers.
Yeah, right? I mean, you probably have an idea of what's important about your business. That may be hard for someone to grasp up front.
Yeah.
So you've got, right, the keep in touch can be a brush off, can be they're genuinely interested. The question is, what questions did they ask during the initial conversation, the second conversation, the third conversation, so you know what you want to keep in touch about, right? And if it's things that you determine are important to your business over time, right? Those are the ones that you do want to go back to and go, when we last talked, you asked about X. Well, I've tried to explain it in a couple of different ways, and this is what I hit upon. And then try it with them. And that's how you, right? And if their response is more enthusiastic or more engaged, you've begun to hit on the right way to communicate this issue. That last startup. And even though you have a track record of success, my observation is that early stage investors have become very accustomed to being acceleration investors, not
Yeah,
even ones who style themselves as seed investors.
right.
Right? They don't do seed.
Mhm.
The lean movement has gotten investors thinking that there should be product before they write a check.
Mhm.
Even if it's not a fully formed product, right? They want to see something built
Something,
and
yeah.
people using it,
Right, exactly.
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and other than the general rule that you develop relationships early and let them see,
Mhm.
right, how things go, that they're looking for, to borrow someone's blog post, lines, not dots,
Mhm.
right, in your trend line, there's no way around building something, right? You may get lucky,
Right,
right, but that's not always the case. So you have to build